Prime theater, yes. Good morning, sunshine, and welcome to today's video. So I was planning on recording a cover today, but my voice is not feeling so great, so I have kind of a last minute plan. So I thought, since you know, I've had kind of a theater brain lately, getting ready for going into school, since I have some auditions first week of classes, which is terrifying. So I have kind of a theater brain, so I thought I would answer some questions about my theater life, journey, whatever. So I have 25 questions that I'm gonna answer. Yeah, let's get started. I started taking voice lessons when I was about 6, and right before I turned 7 was when I did my first show, which was Annie Jr., and I was orphan number 3, and I had one line. So my favorite musical of all time is, well, my favorite musical is ever changing, but I guess the one show that I think will like always be like really, really close to my heart is Dogfight, which is kind of more of a lesser known musical. So the music is Pasek and Paul, who, if you don't know who that is, they wrote the music for The Greatest Showman and for La La Land. But Dogfight is one of their earlier shows. It's about a Marine who is about to ship out to Vietnam, and he and his buddies go out for like one more party, and they have what they call a dogfight, which basically the Marine with the ugliest date wins a pot of money. It's kind of a sad show, but the story and the music is just so like captivating, and it's a show that I've always wanted to see and I've always wanted to do. Alright, this one's really easy, and so my favorite street show is Diary of Anne Frank, like hands down. And Diary of Anne Frank is just such a like touching, moving show. My college is doing it later this year, and I'm so excited. I'd have to say Rose in Dogfight, for sure. Carrie in Carrie, by Stephen King. Tracy Turnblad in Hairspray. I think that goes without saying, but like I would be a great Tracy, but anyway. I'd love to play Anne in Diary of Anne Frank, obviously. I did this show already, but I'd love to do it again and play the older version of the character I played. So Helen in Hollywood Arms, and either one of the girls in Odd Couple. Oh, where do I begin? I wish I were a boy so much sometimes. I'd love to play Clyde in Bonnie and Clyde, Jack Kelly in Newsies, and Jean Valjean in Les Mis. Pretty much anything that Jeremy Jordan has done. So this is I always have the same answer to this role whenever anyone asks me. I would play Elle Woods in Legally Blonde in an absolute heartbeat. I absolutely love Legally Blonde. I love the strength of the show. I love the music in the show. I love everything about that show, and I would play Elle Woods any day of the week, but I probably never will. Psychids, which is the show that I did in New York, or The Mystery of Edwin Drood that I just did. Both casts, just absolutely phenomenal. Especially Drood. I went through a lot this past year, and my cast was the most supportive, the most amazingly talented cast I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of. And I loved going on stage with people every single night. And even though I was in the ensemble, I had a featured dance role, and it's been a long time since I've had my dance skills challenged so much, because I normally don't dance in shows. And to have the choreographer pick me and say, yeah, I need you to dance, was so cool. This is hard. I have a couple. So either, I know I mentioned in my like introduction video that I played Belle in Beauty and the Beast. and that is definitely one of my favorite roles I've ever played. And also, I played Fiona in Shrek. That was a lot of fun. And then Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady. Mystery of Edwin Drood, the Norton Singers. What a great time. It's a great show. It's a show within a show. It's really weird and it's not for everybody, but I had a lot of fun doing it. So I have like one song that I always will sing if I have the opportunity, and that's Pretty Funny from Dogfight. That song really challenges me vocally and character-wise, and it is so much fun to sing, even though it's so sad. I have two go-to monologues. The first is from what I did last summer, which is more of a funny piece, and I've used that for ever. I need to get a new one. And my second is I use one of Anne's monologues from Diary of Anne Frank. I've always said that at the end of the day, I am a singer. I've been singing for 13 years now, so I need to learn how to dance. Yeah, I mean, I can. I'm just not a dancer. I mean, I can carry choreography, but God, I'd love to get better. Probably when I did the original show in New York. Bobby Cronin composed the show and Lauren Elder directed the show, and those two were absolutely phenomenal to work with, and I had so much fun, and they were so easy to work with and really like did their best to pull everything they could out of each and every single one of us. My favorite costume I've ever worn is when I did Beauty and the Beast off Broadway in New York City. My like belle gown, because it wasn't the traditional belle gown, it was very different, and I'll put that like after this little section so you can see it. I would love to do Into the Woods again. I played Little Red when I was like 11. I'd love to do that show again, and I would play Red. I would play any female role in that show, if we're being completely honest. Into the Woods is such a good show, and I'd love to do it again. I'd have to go with Something Rotten. It's just so funny. I like stage doored after and met Brian Darcy James and Christian Borle. I'd like to see Once on This Island, Be More Chill, Aladdin. I mean, there's so many. I would go see anything that's on Broadway right now. I wish I could have seen the original Broadway cast of Wicked. I saw Wicked on Broadway, but like after all the original cast had left. Just cause like seeing Idina Menzel and Christian Chenoweth in like such iconic roles, like that'd be so cool. And I know that's like a really basic answer, but like I don't care. I love Wicked, and you can fight me on that. Is Lindsay Mendez. I love her so much. She's so like inspiring as an actress, and she's so talented. You know, just we have really similar like voices and really similar character styles, and I would just love to play a lot of the roles that she's played. My favorite thing is I love getting on stage with a group of people and like putting something out there for people to see. Like I put a lot of pride in the shows that I do, and I love seeing audiences enjoy what me and a cast have worked so hard to do. So I'd say there are three roles that I think have shaped me and changed me the most. The first would be Rhoda Penmark in The Bad Seed. That role really challenged my like acting chops, especially as a kid. I was 12 when I played that role. So The Bad Seed is about this 8-year-old who kills people. It's a really good show. It's actually like a movie and a book, which I have both seen and read. It's a really hard show for a kid to do because it's so demanding acting wise. It's a straight show, there's no music. She's kind of got a split personality sort of thing going on throughout the show. So that really affected how I looked at a script and picked apart a script. And like I said, it's the first show where I really had to I couldn't just be cute as a kid, I had to act. The second role that really shaped me was Jo March in Little Women. I was a freshman in high school when I played that role. It was the first really huge role that I had in a musical. Because that show is so draining vocally and emotionally because Jo just goes through so much. And to do that show every night is absolutely one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had, but also one of the most taxing. So that role really forced me to work hard on my stamina, especially vocally. Having to carry that show vocally is absolutely insane. And the last one would be, I actually got to originate a role in a show that I workshopped in New York City under Bobby Cronin as a composer, and he is phenomenal to work with, absolutely phenomenal. That show, we had a week to learn the music and the script for a staged reading, and that was so much fun, but it was really interesting to be in it and to really have a hand in your character, and because I was the first person to touch that role, and to touch that script and that music, which was so cool. Probably the most important thing that I've learned from my time in theater is that you have to be yourself. That's so corny. I'm sorry. That's really corny, but it's so true. I don't think I would have gotten any of the roles I've gotten or the opportunities that I've gotten if I wasn't 100% myself through everything that I did. Don't let one no discourage you. I think that every rejection is a lesson. There's always something to be learned from a failed audition or not getting a role, because it's not always about how good you are. Sometimes it's just you were wearing red and the other girl was wearing yellow that day, or you're just a little bit too short or a little bit too tall. So I think that rejection is not something that you need to get too hung up on, because there's always going to be another show and there's always going to be another opportunity. That's all for this video. Stay tuned for whatever's coming next.